Welcome to Reimagining Education, a podcast by Michigan International Prep School. My name is Amy Dunlap, and I'm excited to continue on this journey with you to discuss the inner workings of Michigan International Prep School, from the experts on the inside to the parent experts on the outside. Today, I'm once again joined by Chambria Mack, one of our awesome parents here at the school, and also joined by Cara Livingston, our family engagement coordinator. So I want to just dive right in today. Exciting topic today. We're looking at socialization opportunities here. So Cara, tell me a little bit about what is your role here at the school, and a little bit more about you.
Yeah, so I'm biased. I think I have one of the most fun jobs that you could have here. I get to work with new families, current families, students who are graduating. I really just get to work with everybody. And I get to do a lot of in-person events and get to see students, because I started here as a mentor and all my students were virtual. And now we've kind of moved into that, okay, we can do in-person events. We get to see our students at the labs. So it's just really a great job to be able to see our students in person and get to plan stuff specifically for our student body.
So I love that you brought up different events and doing events. So there's a stigma sort of around virtual schools that maybe those students lack socialization. What would you say to that?
That's not our school. I think from the time that I've kind of stepped into this position is just listening to our families and listening to our students and see what they want. And all of our students want that in person, want different opportunities to really get to meet classmates, teachers, and parents want to meet other families and talk to them about their experiences and compare. So we've kind of just developed a lot of different opportunities for our students to be able to do that. Whether that is virtually, I know we have a lot of students who might not be comfortable with that, so we provide a lot of virtual experiences for our students to get to socialize with other kids, maybe be involved in clubs, but then we do offer those in-person opportunities, and we have families that drive all over the state, so it's like we know our families are really, really wanting this, and they'll make that trip out. They want to see other kids, so it's just incredible what we can do here.
Awesome. I love that. Can you tell me a little bit more about maybe some clubs that we offer, and how students can get involved in those?
Yeah. So I love all of our clubs. I get to run the Ambassadors Club here, which is what we would kind of call like National Honor Society or National Junior Honor Society. It is kind of set up that way, but we do 10 service hours a semester. So that is middle school. We have 6th grade through 12th grade. 6th through 8th is juniors. And then 9th through 12th is our high school age students. And what they are doing in their communities is just things that I wouldn't have even thought about. They're really going out and above to find different opportunities that work for them. I know that we have a middle school age student who he fell in love with the club in the spring. And he went out and did 40 service hours in the summer on his own. That wasn't even required. So they are just really learning from each other, developing leadership skills, character skills, which is just great. And then I know we offer our book club, which is just students who have a fondness for reading. They get to share those experiences with each other. We have a gaming club, and we have esports, which is just fascinating. It's so cool to hear those students get together and do what they do best. We also have a Lego club, which is super fun. Everybody loves Legos. Adults love Legos. Everybody loves Legos. So we just provide a lot of those different opportunities for those kids to get together with other kids who share the same interests. It's just wonderful.
So I love too that you touched on the esports. Here at the Davison Lab, we have an esports room here. So a lot of times the students that are local or can get here, come in. I think it's once a month, maybe even be once a week. I'm not even sure, because all I know is when they're here, I go and check them out. But they get together in a room and to hear how they speak to each other, how they're sort of training the communication skills. Like, it's just so exciting. I am not a gamer. I don't even pretend to be a gamer. I have no idea what's actually happening in the game, but what I do know is that they like come together as a team. They're talking to each other as teammates, they're respecting each other, and they're developing those communication skills. And it's impressive. And you see that in the Ambassadors Club. There's some new clubs getting started this year with
Friday
like the
Friends
dance
Club.
Friday Friends
Club.
That's
an original club. Yep.
There's a dance team getting started. Just lots of opportunity here. And I love that, even, if there's a club idea, like last year, dance club, became a thing like later on in the year, because somebody came forward and said, hey, we'd love to have a dance club. So bringing those ideas up and trying to, see what we can get started is always a lot of fun. Talk to me a little bit too about like field trip opportunities, and what we can do with those.
Yeah, this year is like the most exciting year. So everything has already kind of been laid out and planned this year. There's a couple dates that we're still working on, but We have a list where we're trying to do roughly 2 field trips or experiences a month. And those are really strategic, I think. So we work hard to plan. Again, our students are all over the state. So we really want to work hard on kind of getting around to everybody that we can. We look for things that are really all ages friendly because we make this a family experience. It's not just, okay, you might have 3 kids. We're going to require that this is only for second graders. That's really not fair. So we want everybody to be able to have that experience. So we encourage you to bring your siblings, to bring those people with you. It is just a very cool set this year. Lots of interesting things. Some bucket list items. Like, I know I don't want to dive too deep in, but we are doing a dog sledding trip to the UP in February. And like I said, that's something that I think everybody has on their bucket list. But we have things in Detroit, Grand Rapids, just really all over. And when I say like strategic too, is we really think of time of the year that we go for these. We try to keep costs super low and affordable for our families. And just really work with the venue to have creative experiences that maybe not every other school gets to have.
Awesome. So I know the other piece of sort of socialization that we're usually looking at is that students could come into our learning labs as well. So talk to me a little bit about that. I know back in your mentoring days, you sort of ran one of those labs. So talk to me about what does it look like to be in the lab, and what opportunities could they be provided?
Yeah, so the day-to-day lab operations, I think, are incredibly unique. Like they just get to come in and do their schoolwork. And, parents always used to say, if you do your schoolwork or your homework when you get home, then you have the rest of the afternoon to have off. And that's kind of how it is here. You work with the mentors. And once they see that you have completed all your goals for that day, that you're on track, then you really just get to socialize with other kids, have fun. We have just a ton of games at the labs. We have like virtual reality systems. We have board games, TVs, like anything you can think of, to really just build on those friend-making skills and everything else, and just getting to work with your mentor, especially, and getting close with them. As far as like events for the labs, we are doing, it's roughly once a month, but we have days coming up called Hive Hangout Days. So those are, staff is going to come in the morning to do professional development training. And then in the afternoon, we have sectioned off those for students to come in and have a really cool experience. So we've got some great lineups. We have the Davison Fire Department coming out to the Davison building. We have magic shows lined up, craft days, just really cool things for kids in the area or not. We know a lot of our families will drive. So just please come out on those days, check out the lab, get to learn what that lab experience is about. And we'd love to have you.
Awesome. So Chambria, I know your girls have gotten involved in a lot of these different things. Yes. So walk me through sort of what are they involved in? What have you enjoyed? What's sort of your impression of these various types of events?
My girls have really enjoyed all of the field trips that we've been on. We've been on several of them, all of them being experiences that we probably would not have done had it not been this experience. First thing that pops into my mind is the Capitol. We all got to view the Capitol, and we spent a lot of time in there, and my daughter got to have her picture up in the Capitol. So it was just a really cool thing, and this gives them an opportunity to go and see the names and the faces that they see on the screen. And when they see each other, like, hey, you're in my class, and then, like she said, that builds a friendship.
Yes, I love that. And yes, Chambria is one of our rock star parents that comes out when I need somebody to come tell their story or speak with legislators in Lansing. So always appreciate that. So what can we sort of like look forward to as we continue on with events and socialization opportunities, or how should families get more information?
Yeah, I want to touch on too what you said, which is really great, is that a lot of these students have been friends for years and never get to see each other in person. So we've had that situation happen where, like these 2 kids have been in a music class together and they show up in person, and it's just, a little awkward at first, and they say, hi. And then like they'll go in for a hug, and it's like they've had a friendship for years, but have never met. So these social events are just a great way to provide them this opportunity to really, deepen their connection with each other. So yeah, like I said, we have a ton coming up, like roughly 2 a month. The best way to get that information is to go on ClassLink. So if you go on your student's ClassLink, there's going to be an icon that says events. Please click on that, and everything is listed for the school year beautifully. Something new that we just came up with is the student event calendar. So if you subscribe to it, it's going to show up on your Google Calendar. So if you're going to book an appointment with a teacher or something, you might say, hey, there's a field trip coming up next week. Let me click on it and get the information. When in doubt, just always ask your mentor or your teacher. They'll have access to everything, and they can even provide you with my information. And I'd love to walk you through the steps on how to get the permission form and everything else you need.
So, Chambria, I have to ask, Cara mentioned that the dog sledding might be one of her bucket list items. I mean, she assumes it's everybody's, but I think it's just hers. Although I've done it, so I guess I've checked that off. It is very cool.
I just smiled.
What's one maybe cool idea that you have that you think that we should try to get on the calendar, if not this school year, but maybe for next?
Oh, my goodness. My children really love Frankenmuth.
Good one.
It's a great place in Michigan.
Yes, it is.
With all, especially around Christmas time, around that season, and it's a real fun place with all the Splash Village and all that kind of stuff. So they love Frankenmuth. It's maybe 15 minutes from where we live.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely. It's not far. It's a fun. I did do in my past lifetime visited a dairy farm in Frankenmuth that had one of the first robotic milkers in Michigan, which was pretty cool. So maybe we need to pair going out to that farm and then maybe going in town for like lunch and then
there's lots.
There'd be so much
there's
that
always
we could be doing.
Going on
Yeah.
Yes.
So Cara, aside from dog sledding, do we have another bucket list item that we're going to try to get on the calendar here in the near future?
In the near future, I mean, I see the possibilities as endless, and I think like another great thing is like we're listening to kids who want to do clubs is we listen to kids. So kids or teachers will come with me with ideas and say, hey, we really want to see this. And that's probably how 4 of them got on the calendar this year, is because a teacher or a student came to me and said, this is what we want to do. I said, okay, great, let's make it work with the venue. So I don't know, whatever the students want to see on their bucket list, that's what it's about. Not my bucket list, but I'm excited to create opportunities for students and what they want to do.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing, students, if you think of something, send it over to Miss Livingston's direction so she can write that down and we can work on it. But thank you both so much. Before we end, any final thoughts as it relates to socialization in the virtual setting for our listeners?
I guess like even our in-school events. So like we do a talent show every year, which is just one of my favorite events. I've seen like finger skateboarding. I've seen gymnastics. I've seen everything. Our students are so creative and they really come out of their bubble. Like you can really tell, like they'll message me back and forth and be like, I'm not so sure. I'm like, please just send us. Like we want to see it all. Send us all your content. Like we would love to see it. So the small things like the art show that we do every year, our students, again, are just so creative and we want to see that. Like, don't think that we don't want to see it. We really do. And then our graduation ceremony at the end of the year is just super special and it's just very cherished. And, I've had students here for the past 4 years and one of them graduated last year. So it was crazy to think that, they started here as 9th grader and I get to see that whole process. So just lots of really cool events. I've never seen an online school that is doing it quite like we do and provide the same opportunities. So just excited to see everybody out this year at our field trips. It's just really a great time. It really is. And seeing the kids in person is fantastic.
Yep. I love the thought process that I have with the out of the box friendships. Friendships that probably wouldn't have happened any other way but in this setting. And so my girls have made friends that I know we probably would have never connected. And that's a really cool thing because it opens up doors. It opens up so many doors. And that part I'm really grateful, and I think that is super cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you both again. For more information, you can head on over to miprepschool.org or check us out on any of our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we will see you next time on the Reimagining Education podcast.
Reimagining Education is brought to you by Michigan International Prep School, a tuition-free K-12 online school. If you'd like to learn more about us and what we do, you can visit our website at miprepschool.org. That's miprepschool.org. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.